welcome to the masterclass, and let's speak about personalization, shall we? So personalization is one of the most talked about success factors in e-commerce these days, and still a lot of clients would say it still feels disappointing. Today I want to explain why many personalization initiatives fail even before data science, AI or marketing strategy gets involved. My core argument is very simple. Personalization success is constrained by IT infrastructure. I'm not coming at this, I'm talking about IT infrastructure, I'm not coming at this from a marketing background. So I've spent 25 years in IT infrastructure services sales and consulting, and this is where I might see the constraints as well as the solutions when it comes to IT infrastructure. This masterclass is presented to you by Gcore. We are a company, mid-sized company from Luxembourg, and what we do mainly offer is European cloud, is edge network services and AI services, fully powered within the EU from Luxembourg, but on a global scale. We live in times of market contradiction. So where personalization is universally accepted and still feels awesome sometime. So there are virtually every industry survey points out to two main topics. So first of all, personalization is one of the strongest driver in conversion, in loyalty and customer lifetime value. And secondly, most companies do think they underperform in it. Let's have some figures. So personalization isn't something new. So 63% of the global brands do have personalization in some way. But a lot of customers will disagree. And why is that? So one reason could be a different measurement. So while brands are measuring by capabilities, do we have recommendation? Do we segment users? Do we have personalized emails? Capabilities. On the consumer side, personalization is about experience. Did it feel right what I've just learned? Was it accurate? Was it meaningful what I just received? Then we do have the ROI paradox. So when personalization comes into place, it delivers 3 times of the ROI compared to mass sendings. And yet it still receives a fraction of the budget, so less than 5%. Why is it? So one explaining is that it's still personalization still feels at a high upside as high risk, because you can experience a backlash by consumers if it feels creepy or even wrong. And I will show you later how infrastructure solutions can reduce this systemic risk. Next one shows that consumers are quite pragmatic. So they are not against personalization, they are against bad personalization. So they are, what the figures are showing, that they are ready to trade their data against value, but the value has to be accurate, has to be in time, and has to be safe. And this is also the point where infrastructure failure gets emotional failure due to backward. Yeah, and there's a tale of Babylon. You can see on the left-hand side the main restrictions. What are CMOs saying? Yeah, it's a lack to data integration, data velocity, and shoppers mainly do say it's irrelevant or outdated offers. And I think it's 2 complaints, but the reason behind is the same. So let's think of a restaurant. Consumer says my food arrived late and cold. And the chef is saying, in this case the CMO, the ingredients didn't reach my kitchen in time. And both is pointing out to delivery, right? And infrastructure is the delivery part in this one. And we had looked deeper into it. And when we analyzed, there are 3 reasons, and you can see again on the left side, the 3 main inhibitors or the problems. And when we analyzed it, they break down into specific technical bottlenecks. So on the right side, you see the technical bottlenecks, and I won't mention all of them, just to mention 2. So we do have an identity resolution lag. So it takes too long time to figure out that the person who's using your mobile app is exactly the same person who just was on your website. So identity resolution lag. And the next one is caching issues. When you don't have a content delivery network, a CDN, that can update dynamically, you're serving old content. And what's interesting here, of course, it's about marketing in the blue, but most of these problems are relying on infrastructure problems. Not marketing problems, not strategy problems, but infrastructure problems. And the good thing, of course, is that these can be solved by infrastructure solutions. Yeah, and here I need your help because my market team didn't let me have the train in there. So this is the MarTech stack, right? You remember very well all the MarTech tools on top. And let's think of it as having a train, right? And the locomotive is the CMS. And this is driving the cabins of CRM, of data science, of branding tools, of awareness campaigns. So it's a impressive MarTech train, and due to a study of Market Chief in 2024, the average company is using 91 marketing tools these days. And they're working fine, right? There's a lot of investment, there's a lot of professionalization. But think of the infrastructure as tracks. If this track, so it doesn't matter how powerful the engine is that is pulling the train or how elegant the cabins are, in the tracks, what resembles your infrastructure is broken somehow. And with broken, I do mean slow, siloed, or in any way insecure. It slows your whole performance down. So there might be the question if it makes sense or should we reduce the number of marketing tools? Not necessarily, but you need the infrastructure in order to support all the MarTech train. Let's talk about solutions. So there are mainly 3 solutions to support personalization. First of all, it has to be timely. Then it has to be safe. And third one, both of them have to work together. Let's talk about time. And time is of essence here. So, and we're going quite back, right? When looking in the audience, is here somebody remembering the 1990s when internet a site took 10 seconds to load? This was okay back then. So somehow some people are nodding, the younger ones, or at least those who feel are not nodding. This is getting faster and faster, of course, right? Faster, and this is proceeding, and also the expectations of the shoppers. So nowadays, 38% are classified as instant shoppers. And what is an instant shopper? Is somebody who expects a site to load in under 5 seconds. They want to have product recommendations even before they finished typing in the search, and they do expect a checkout time of maximum 30 seconds. So, and this is increasing, right? The number of instant shoppers, as you can see, almost doubled within the last 15 years, and this is not the end. So this means you have to be prepared. The infrastructure has to be prepared in order to support more speed and to make it faster at any point of time. On the right side, you can see how much conversion loss you expect for every half second of page load. So it's starting after the 2.2 seconds, that is acceptable for everyone, but already after 2.2 seconds, you tend to lose already 30% of your clients. of your shoppers. And of course, then it's slowing down, right? So somebody who is willing to wait 4 seconds might also wait 6 seconds, right? So typically people that are old school like me can wait, but here speed is happening, right? And when you do see that a lot of is converted directly at the beginning, you see, and personalization is slowing it down, right? So every time you have to fetch data, you have to run a recommendation algorithm, it's slowing this down. What is a potential resolution? So fast edge for the rescue, you can see background image generation. For example, could be a watermarking, could be changing the background of a picture for personalization. And on the left side is the generation for one image, and on the right side for 3 images. And you see with a traditional setup, traditional design in dark orange, you need a lot of time, right? Let's go back to the example of a restaurant. This is like calling a chef in Paris to cook your lunch and then deliver it to Berlin. The time, so chef will be amazing, right? Amazing food, but by the time it arrives, it's already cold. And here, and this is cascading, right? It's getting even more and more with a traditional design. What we now do, where the Gcore boost in light orange is coming in, is about edge computing. And staying in our example is to have local kitchens. So you still have the fine recipe of the chef in Paris, but now you're cooking locally. You have a kitchen in the neighborhood and you are cooking locally. You're processing the data closest to the customers, to the shoppers. And then you can see it's slowing extremely down. In this example, 1 image generation under 2 seconds and 3 as well. And this one is, of course, even getting worse with complexity. The more is coming in, and we see it later, AI, it's slowing it down. This is why edge computing is coming in. We talked about timely, let's talk about safe, because speed doesn't matter when the customers don't trust you with your data. And you see, this is all about European shoppers. On the left side, you can see in 2020. So just beginning of COVID times, not so much ago, only 22% of the European shoppers were aware that their data, personal data, can be sold to third parties. And only 5 years later, right, or 4 years later, in a very short time frame, this number doubled. And this year, of course, you can expect that more people are aware that people who are not aware that your data can be sold. So Europeans are waking up to data flows. And on the right side, this is the willingness to purchase an item online if you don't know the brand, if you don't trust the data handling. And in 2020, you had a 50-50 chance that customers still do buy. But 5 years later, it's 75-80% customers won't buy if they don't trust you with the data handling. And when you see that in e-commerce, first-time purchaser do resemble up to 60-70% of the revenue. It's crucial, right? You're not only losing repeat customers, but potential new customers. Yeah, it's all about trust management. Let's put some figures to it, right? 47%, nearly 50% are less likely to buy if they don't trust you, how you handle your data. And the second example is even those who get exposed to negative brand commentary, there's already a 23% in lifetime value of a customer. And when speaking about trust, on the right side, they are coming in the regulators. and you do see only 2 examples, but there are a lot. So where fines are applied for those who did wrong with the data handling. And you see huge amounts, right? So 290 million, $500 million, and these values are growing year over year. And when you are a large brand, you might handle it, but also smaller companies are affected. And this could at least be at the end be a death sentence. And just on choices, how you handle your customer data and where you store it and where the data flow at the end is. This one is interesting. It's about data sovereignty, and I like it a lot. So these days you hear a lot of clients say, we are GDPR compliant. We are meeting the local hosting requirements, and we only do have infrastructure based in the EU. And this is absolutely the right way. And we do see it everywhere. And it's tough. It's hard work, but it's really worth it. But there are hidden threats. So below the surface, let's have an example. So you've done your homework. You've chosen AWS in Frankfurt to host your data. So your physical data is now stored in Frankfurt, in Germany, in a German data center running on German servers. So on paper, you are GDPR compliant and everything is fine. But you have to ask yourself, who is the legal entity at the end? And AWS is a US company. It's based in Seattle. And this is automatically, you are exposed to the US Cloud Act. US Cloud Act, we're discussing it a lot during the last times, and it's also quite helpful for us as a European company, but it's tough, right? So US Cloud Act was enacted in 2018, the same year like GDPR, and this means if you're dealing with such a company, US authorities can fetch your data, not even you knowing that this is happening. So this is about legal entity. And you might have compromised data flows. Let's speak about AI. If you do have your models trained and you are in inference mode, you run your models, you have to ask your data science team, do they know exactly where the data flow is? So from the beginning, where the data is scraped, where it's processed, and where it's spilled out again, do they really know? Shorthand, most of the GPU resources, the AI data centers, are still located in the US. So you have to do a deep dive to surely know where your data is flowing and to avoid these hidden threats. But the good thing is we can help you with this. So we do have 3 core solutions that supports you with your personalization efforts. So let's start with speed. And like the name already said, Fast Edge is all about speed. And this is our edge computing platform. So like, remember the kitchen in your neighborhood. This is where the data processing is done nearest to your clients. So the data doesn't have to travel thousands of kilometers, but it's directly close to your shoppers. And you can restrict your data flow. Right? There's geo restrictions behind. So if you want that a German shopper is only on German shoppers and the data isn't going outside of EU, you can do the restriction here. And for e-commerce, it's of course you can do, because it's really fast, you can do personal product recommendation. You can do user segmentation right away based on user segments or location or time or whatever do you want. So this is about speed. Let's talk about security. Our solution there is called WARP, and this is a web application and API protection. So it's all about security. And why this is interesting for e-commerce, because we are not only dealing with legitimate clients. So there are also fraudsters, there are bots, and this is a way to protect your business. So let's keep your competition may use bots to scrape your product catalog, to get prices, to get availability, to get product descriptions, and usually you don't want that. Or do you remember times where bots prevented real customers from buying products? So typically, a very good example is the launch of the PlayStation 5. Everybody wanted to have a PlayStation 5, but bots enacted and prevented customers from buying. Or in our industry, recent example is NVIDIA GPUs during the time of chip shortage. And here comes the bot protection, the web application bot protection in place, because we do detect those bots and we can block them, while the legitimate traffic is still going through. So the shoppers can still shop, but we protect you from those bots. And furthermore, we do have DDoS protection, so protection for DDoS attacks. And we are coming from the gaming industry, and we're protecting a lot of gaming clients, and that was very famous. Now we do say it was the #1 industry for DDoS attacks for quite some time. And what we do see, if you hopefully will visit you at our booth later on, here's our Gcore radar on threats and attacks. We do see that a lot of more industries get into the focus of DDoS attacks. This is about security, and now speak about AI. And here's where we are combining our network capabilities with our AI competencies. We do have GPU data centers within Europe for training, but this one is very much interesting for the inference mode, when you run your models. And this solution enables you to run your models on our cloud infrastructure, on our edge network points. And we, at this point of time, we do have more than 200 POPs globally, and a lot of them being in Europe. So there you can run your model closest to the users. I do have a nice example for this one. So last year we do had customer situation with a customer case with Pro7 Sat.1. Some might know the famous TV show Germany's Next Top Model, and they wanted to promote the Join app. I don't know if you can. If you know it, it's an app. Want to promote it, and you had the possibility to take a selfie of yourself, to send it in, and you were getting back a model photo. And during the shows on Saturday evenings, they blended in a barcode, and you could scan the barcode, do all the processing, and we've supported them with our AI infrastructure, making sure that the data stays in the EU, and that it's scaling, that you can do 1,000 of AI-generated model photos at the same time. Yeah, this is combining. All of those are combining a fast, safe, and data sovereign solution to your personalization. Yeah, I'm here. Thanks a lot for your attention. So, and if some of you want to dig deeper into how Gcore can help you, I'm here today and tomorrow all day to discuss. And we are in hall 1.2 on booth A3. And yeah, happy to discuss.